We're all out of grapes.
We are out of grapes.
Oh, it's no longer the grape hour.
Not that it was ever an hour.
It was half an hour. So I guess if you want to, like, get some of your own grapes and, like, eat some of those for the next half hour, then we got to...
Then we've had a total grape hour.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a counter in the bottom left of the screen. up to the point at which you're allowed to continue eating grapes. Can you make it go, like... No, but wait, isn't that when you have to stop eating grapes? Because they were outside of the grape hour. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So the counter's ticking down.
Can you make it like have a little bit of confetti come out and go like it's the end of the grape hour, regardless of what line it's on?
Even if it's just a dead serious moment. And we don't know what it is. We don't have a clock running. This is going to be all great. In the edit.
I'm so ready. All right, let's go, Felix.
The die of fate had been cast.
That's all very dramatic, Felix.
Reporting to a public agency, which we'd kept being warned could instead result in something far worse for Satoko if we didn't have the evidence first.
Oh, yeah.
And just like that.
This is a serious moment, isn't it?
Had I failed, and I let my emotions get the better of me in that moment, maybe I should have stayed silent and left everything to Mion, since she had been relatively calm. I remembered the punishment game where we had badmouthed Kari, and how me saying anything would have made it worse, since Satoko told us to leave the talking to her. Maybe it was the same thing here. I was impulsive, and so maybe I should have just shut up and looked at the floor. But it's too late to lament it. The die I had thrown wouldn't be coming back into my hands. All we could do is pray for something good to happen.
I like it. Good plan. Renner's on board. This is it. It's gonna work. Keiichi-kun, you did everything you could, so leave it to the teachers now, okay?
Everything I could. If I really gave it everything I had, if I really struggled, I would have dragged Satoko out of her home last night and hid her in some abandoned house. I didn't, so that means I didn't do everything I could. This is a very weird interpretation of, like, the best thing to do in a scenario. Is like the most effort you could put in, the best result.
It's the most desperate action I could take.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Stop thinking about it, alright?
That's never gonna work. This is Keiichi we're talking about.
He never stops thinking. You get a headache, kid. You're being a little too persistent, Keiichi-kun. At this rate, you'll collapse.
Just leave me alone. I left her with those words and stared lazily up at the ceiling.
Whoa.
I wondered if I'd really got Chie-sensei to understand.
Maybe.
Would the public agency intervene and solve everything within the day? Would they acknowledge the abuse and guarantee her safety? After lunch break, our afternoon classes were mostly self-study. The teacher came back to the classroom occasionally, but then the phone in the lounge would ring and she'd have a long conversation with the caller. Everyone in class got the feeling they knew what those phone calls were about, since they came trotting back from the classroom. I'm really sorry for all the phone calls recently. Let's call it a day. President, please lead the class. Everybody stand up. It looked to me like Sensei had been wearing a dark expression ever since lunch break. It wasn't a very relieving expression. It wouldn't be. Even if Sensei had 100% understood the situation and passionately explained it to the other person. At the end, the Child Consultation Center, as a public agency, would be the ones to decide whether to get her to safety. Sensei understood that as well as us, and that's why she looked so unreliable right now. Kei-chan, let's go home. Don't think anyone feels like having the club today.
Oh no. This is where it all falls apart.
I agree.
No more club. Mi-chan, it's no fun if someone's not here.
Rena was right. It was no fun for us if someone was missing. If the teacher's expression had shown more promise, then maybe we could have gone home more comfortably. But I couldn't let myself feel relieved. I couldn't be naive and tell myself all I can do is pray now that the dice have been cast. Just in case they didn't get her to safety and decided to wait and see again. Now, I do wonder how it was in translation, but I do enjoy that...
The dies?
They used the plural in this
dies.
last example.
Yeah.
Because, like, all this time up here, he's like, the die has been cast, the die has been cast.
Is that true? I'm pretty sure he said dies the first time.
No, he said die.
Are you sure? I mean, we can check it in editing, but I'm pretty sure he said dice the first time.
Hold on, let me just scroll to it.
Oh, interesting.
See, like...
It was a different one.
It did
I'm sure he said it before.
But, like, I'm enjoying that he's actually putting in the difference between singular and plural, implying that other people are still acting.
I guess so.
Because, like, part of me would have expected this would be the point at which Keiichi would just put everything in singular and be like, it's all me! It's up to me! But we're clearly still in that transition.
I guess so.
Just in case they didn't get her to safety and decide to wait and see again, I'd need to take further measures. We've asked the people who could do something official already, and there was one more place that was worth asking for help. She might laugh it off, or I might be right, and might be endangering my own life, but I'd try. Oh, Mion, is it okay if I stop by your place today? You've got a lot of manga, right? I want to borrow a bunch of them.
Sure, I guess.
There's an ominous meaning behind my words, so Mion realized what I really meant right away. I wanted to talk about something alone. That's what I meant, yes, of course, because we need to go the whole way up to the compound to talk alone.
Mi-chan, Keiichi-kun, let's go home.
Rena already had her shoes on and was waving to us from the schoolyard.
What?
Good lord, they're running so
faster
quick.
than a cheetah.
Mion's house was gigantic in every way imaginable. The house itself was vaguely old-fashioned traditional Japanese house, but the yard, I guess their plot of land, was enormous. I also enjoy that we're going here, like, in a casual sense, just after what happened at the end of last arc.
It's
like,
great, isn't it?
Mion's place has been, like, this enigma, and then we finally went there in the tense finale of
Shit
episode
went
2.
down, and then we just go in there for a chat.
Yeah, just go there and get some manga.
Yeah, it'll be good. Have some chai tea.
Hopefully someone brought the biscuits this time.
Go into the murder dungeon, have some biscuits down there.
You reckon Mion just goes and hangs out there for fun?
Yeah, for sure. It's like a nice place to get some peace and quiet, right?
It's one of those places where, like, you know, you have, like, the basement in your house, which is, like, it's a little dirty, it's a little grimy, but it's always nice and cool, and no one comes and bothers you there.
I would go down there and, like, kick rocks down in the murder pit, like, see how far down it goes.
Yeah.
You know? And you're dunk, dunk, dunk.
Like, I guess it's kind of on a different level because there are corpses there from the past.
Yeah, it's fine, though.
But, I mean, you'd never...
Well, that's part of the game, because you kick the rock and you don't know if it's going to hit the corpses down the bottom or the ones further to the top. The ones hanging on the meat hooks, you don't know.
I forgot that you're a farm boy and that's just, like, normal to you.
Yeah.
You just throw stones and see bones.
Yeah, we just see what kind of bones we can break on the way down the hill.
Yeah. It easily convinced me that they really were the major landowners with Hinamizawa under their thumb.
We just take it for granted, apparently. It's not a big reveal this arc. Interesting.
Mion brought me through the guest room and a servant brought us some tea. Servant? I thought there were only two people in the house.
That's something I don't have. I don't have servants, sadly.
But there were only two people in the house last time. Why are there servants now?
I guess there are
is
more now.
Is this important or is this just...
Yes. Maybe they were dismissed last time, or maybe there's a secret.
Maybe they were the three other bodies.
There you go. That makes sense to me.
Wow, you really are rich, huh? You've even got housekeepers.
No, that's just my grandmother. Grandma and I are the only ones who live here. I won't be able to do everything myself.
It's like Aesop's fable with, like, the old man carrying the donkey.
Yeah. I have no idea what that is, but
Oh my goodness, it's the best story. Can I tell it to you? Or do we have time? I don't know if we have time. Basically, look, I'm going to tell you anyway. Basically, there's a man, a donkey, and a kid, and they go through town, like, carrying stuff, and all the people around them complain about how they're using the donkey. Like, first, the adults on the donkey, and they're like, well, why aren't you letting that kid sit on that donkey? And then they put the kid on the donkey, like, why don't you let the old man rest his bones? And then they're like, well, we're both on the donkey. They go, well, that poor donkey's doing all the work now. And so then they get the donkey, and they tie it to a bit of bamboo, and they carry it through the streets, and then they drop the donkey into a well, and it dies.
I see.
And that's the fable.
Is that a Bible story?
No, it's Aesop's Fables. Have you not read Aesop's Fables? I have a whole book of them at home. I'll bring them next time I come here. But the moral of the story is he can't please everyone.
I see.
And that's what we learned here with Mion not being able to please her grandma by doing the household chores because she has to do it for her.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much. I will now leave.
All right, well, now the pen's gone. The servant left, telling us it was 5 o'clock, then withdrew with soft footsteps. I can't believe he actually just walked out.
What? We have people come in and take care of Grandma and clean 2 or 3 times a week. They come in rotations of 3 or 4, so there's someone here almost every day. Only until the evening, though. Oh, and if we're having a party or something where we need more help, we'll call up different people.
If you had the money to hire all these people, then just take Satoko in. I glared at her as I thought that, and Mion seemed to catch on immediately.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I know it's not a money problem.
Just to be clear, my family may be rich, but...
But what, Mion?
Oh, you're back, Ben!
I'm back!
What? I didn't,
everything's
why
been
did
running
you
smoothly.
tunnel back into my room?
It was just the
Why
most
couldn't you
efficient
just
way
come
in.
back through the door?
Also, there's a nice draft coming from down there now.
I wish that were true.
I found a family of mole people, and they seem to be more than happy to provide us with their air.
Is that what the smell is?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not me, I think.
It's not money that I can use freely for myself, okay? I don't want you to misunderstand that.
Yeah, we don't want Uncle Olaf to get on that money. That
It
wouldn't be
kind
good.
of looked like I was bullying her. Mion had been apologizing to me a lot lately. Was Mion the sort of person who would do that? Who would do that this much? What?
Do that this much.
Apologizing
Yeah,
lately.
apologizing.
Right? I momentarily tuned out and was like, what? Mion bullying Keiichi? But that's not what was said.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that I've been looking so grim lately.
Well, that's not good. You gotta get your corpse out
So,
of the
what's up? You had something to talk about, right?
Lengthy pause.
Ah,
I have something pretty serious to discuss, Mion. This will be sudden and you might be surprised, but I want you to hear me out.
does that have something to do with Satoko?
I'm going to overthrow communism.
Ah, it's a good. Wait, why is communism?
What?
Why communism? Why would you overthrow communism in Japan?
Who said Japan, Ben? I just said communism.
Are we going to Russia? Is that the plan?
Ben,
Or China?
stop singling out places.
I have to.
Keiichi's just taking
I
them all
need
down.
context.
There's no context here. It's a blanket,
But
it's a
I
blanket
need-
fact.
I need context.
It's
though.
like if I say I'm going to do all the linen,
okay.
I'm doing everyone's linen.
Every
I'm not
linen
just
in the
doing all
world.
the linen in my
That
house.
sounds like the sort of thing you dedicate your life to. That's very
you reckon
goal.
there's one person in the world that is their life goal?
I hope so.
They've just
I
been
wanna
traveling the
meet-
world by
Look,
foot.
If any of you know the man or woman or other who are currently trying to do all the linen, I want them on the show. I want them to swing by our office in Australia, Sydney, and just we'll have them on and we'll talk about their life and it'll be great.
I'm excited for it.
Is it you, Felix? Are you that person?
This will be sudden and you might be surprised, but I want you to hear me out.
Or what?
Because if that is your life goal, I want to let you know I support you.
I'll give you a way out first. Even if what I say is true, you don't need to admit it. You're allowed to play dumb. But I want you to listen until the very end. I have something to say to the next leader of, or still the most important of the three families in Onigafuchi village, Mion Sonozaki. At first, Mion looked like she had no idea what I was saying, but at hearing the whole sentence and putting it together, she reacted.
Where did you hear that?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I definitely couldn't tell her who told me. Takano-san, you told me not to, but please forgive me. This is why I asked you about it after all.
I was surprised just that you'd heard of Onigafuchi village, Keiichi. But you seem to know a lot of things, both true and false, about me too.
True and false?
Like you're a filthy murderer.
Yeah, true and false.
Yeah.
Or they might just have the wrong impression here, but
Nah.
I'm okay with that, so listen. And if it really is true,
True and false.
I don't know what you're getting at, Keiichi, but let me say this beforehand. You've got a big misunderstanding. So if it were possible, I wouldn't want to hear what you're about to say. Because even if you said it, I can't do anything to help you. Still, if talking about it will lighten your burden even a little, I'll listen. I'm only just going to listen. Nothing more will happen. Are you okay with that?
yeah.
Being very reasonable. This is good.
Mion seemed to know what kind of thing I'd be talking about. She warned me that doing so would be fruitless. That much was obvious. If what I was going to say was true, then the Sonozaki family would be the masterminds behind the string of freak deaths that have been occurring every year in Hinamizawa. You know that stuff about Oyashiro-sama's curse, right? Mion nodded a little. No one knows what it is or why it happens. Even if each incident is solved, the string of deaths and accidents as a whole is still a mystery. There's one thing connecting them all, and that's how the targets are always enemies of the village.
Seems like it.
Mion spoke as if it didn't relate to her. That was fine. She didn't have to admit it. For now, I just wanted her to stay quiet and listen to me. The day after tomorrow, it's Tanagashi, isn't it?
Oh.
Has the sacrifice for this year's curse been decided already? Mion didn't answer. Her expression remained the same too. Like she said, she was just quietly listening. Sorry, the promise was that you'd just listen, so it's weird for me to ask a question, huh? Mion gave me a look like she'd never given me before. A faraway look, a sympathetic one. She didn't nod, she just smiled faintly and listened to me.
Hold on, can we just go up?
What?
She just smiled faintly and listened to me.
Good. Good.
Congratulations,
We wanna-
translation.
Bring
What?
the editors through. Bring the editors through. Come on, guys. There's so many of these.
It's kind of ridiculous how many there are in this arc.
It's too many. Did you guys read this more than once? Are you taking the Higurashi approach to editing?
Excellent question.
It's an excellent question. I think so.
If this year's curse isn't going to be on Satoko's uncle, then please change it to him. I mean, last year it was her aunt, right? It's in the right order, so it wouldn't be weird.
You're right, it seems like there's an order.
I mean, after her aunt died in the curse last year, he abandoned Satoko and fled into town for a whole year. Why wouldn't a guy like that definitely be on Oyashiro-sama's list? There shouldn't be any issue with choosing him for this year.
I see. If he were to die from the curse this year, no one would see anything unusual about it.
I heard that Oyashiro-sama's curse is, well, no matter how I looked at it, I wasn't sure whether I should continue. No matter how I tried, the words wouldn't come out.
String of freak deaths in Hinamizawa, also called Oyashiro-sama's curse. You're saying they're incidents perpetrated by the village, carried out by the 3 families at the Sonzaki's instructions. Is that it?
I don't care one bit whether you have anything to do with it. I'm just saying, if you have any way of communicating with whoever decides the targets of the curse, then I just want you to tell him to choose Satoko's uncle. Please.
Keiichi, your feelings are showing on your face again.
Everything you've been saying has been terrible. If the freak death incidents in Hinamizawa were carried out by the will of the Sonozaki family, that would mean the main culprit would be me, wouldn't it? I would have chosen the target of the curse, given the instructions, killed many people, and gotten rid of others. You're calling me a murderer, Kei-chan.
I didn't say that. Didn't you listen to me? I don't care whether you're the one behind the murders or not. I just don't. Even if you were the culprit, it doesn't change the fact you're my friend. It doesn't matter at all. If the police were chasing you, I'd come to help. I'd make you an alibi and even help you escape. Because we're friends and comrades, aren't we? Mion looked surprised for a while. She was dumbfounded.
Now you're declaring yourself complicit. Kei-chan, that's pretty bold of you.
Come on, don't interrupt. Satoko's uncle. Choose him for...
Stop right there, Kei-chan. I want to start on dinner soon, so I'd like to leave things at this.
Mion. I then realized my cheeks were wet with tears. I slid down my chin and fell, drop to the tatami mat.
It's like I said at the start. We've got a big misunderstanding. Oyashiro-sama's curse is just that. Even if there were people behind those incidents. They don't have anything to do with the Sonozaki family or me, either.
Right. I understand that, it's just...
It's touching to hear such a desperate plea, Kei-chan. That's all it was. Even if I wanted to help, I can't. You understand that too, right?
Yeah.
But now I know how you feel so well it hurts. If I really were, like you said, the one controlling the 3 families and choosing the sacrifices every year, I'd probably grant you your wish.
Mion.
But the reality is different. I'm just Mion Sonozaki. My family may be the subject of all sorts of bad rumors about controlling Hinamizawa from the shadows, but we have nothing to do with the freak death incidents. We may have been a little extreme during the Dam War, but that's all. We would never do something so insane as to kill people.
Don't say such sad things. Right now, at the least, I don't care. Why can't you just be nice and lie to me?
Kei-chan, you're free to believe what you like. If I lied to you now, you'd be convinced Satoko would be freed the night after tomorrow, and you'd be able to shed much of your burden. However, reality is harsh. Satoko's uncle will survive beyond that day. He'd still be alive next week, and the week after that. You need to prepare yourself for that. I don't want you coming to me the day after Watanagashi and demanding to know why he wasn't killed.
Mion. Mion stood up slowly and closed the sliding door to keep out the wind that had grown chilly. In summer, apparently.
Was it Mio-san? Did she give you all those ideas? She really likes to misunderstand things about Hinamizawa. Well, we can let her have her fun. But I don't really want her influencing you, Kei-chan. Jeez. This is why outsiders are no good.
I love that this now means that when Takano dies, Keiichi's gonna be like, damn, Mion got her out of the picture.
Maybe,
He doesn't want her misleading me. Takano-san has nothing to do with it.
Right, don't worry. Even though I know she told you about it, Kei-chan, nothing's going to happen. It's not like Mio-san will be chosen for this year's curse. Besides, we don't even know for sure if the curse will happen this year. Maybe it was just all a pile of unfortunate coincidences.
Thanks for listening. If you aren't connected to the serial deaths at all, then that must have been an uncomfortable conversation. I'll apologize for it.
I'm sorry for saying you're a murderer.
I see. You'll apologize for it.
And the music cut. Mion said she didn't have much time, but she still brought me to the gate. She said she had a meeting or something today about Sunday's Watanagashi festival, so there would be a lot of people coming from the town council and the festival committee. Despite her day being so busy, she still listened to what I had to say.
If there's a God in heaven, then he probably understands how strongly you feel.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for being so weird today. You can pretend like this discussion never happened if you want.
Okay, I'll forget about it.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
I really only spent a short while with Mion. Talking to her made me think. It was clear that what Takano-san had told me at least wasn't a complete fabrication. If Mion was really, really unconnected to the incidents, then she probably wouldn't have listened to me so quietly. She heard me out until I was done without making any quips, and I wanted to think that was proof. I did kind of feel like I was grasping at straws. Of course, thinking back to it, it was a terrible thing to discuss. I mean, I went to my friend's house, called her a serial murderer, and then told her to kill Satoko's uncle. I was the only one talking that whole time. Mion quietly listened to everything I had to say, like a pastor listening to a confession.
I like this. I like that line. That's a good line. I enjoy that line thoroughly.
That's good, isn't it?
Keiichi's confession.
She could have gotten angry partway through and told me off and to go wash my face in miso soup and come back later. But she didn't. Was that proof that Mion's family, the Sonozakis, were the masterminds? Or was she just listening because she felt sorry for me going kind of crazy? I didn't know which it was, but it was the one effort I could make at the moment. It was another form of insurance. Should worse come to worse and the public agency decide to wait and see.
Wait and see.
It was a completely useless resistance, literally grasping at straws.
No, figuratively.
Oh,
That's what it is. It's not literally, it's figuratively grasping at straws.
Well, I mean, you don't know. We haven't had it confirmed.
We haven't seen his hands.
We haven't seen Keiichi at all. He could just have, like, a shirt made of straws and he just grasps at them when he's
Is
stressed.
he a literal straw man? Is he a straw man?
I was thinking more like drinking straws.
Oh, I was thinking like, hey,
You know,
like,
he like,
you feed the horses.
he goes to the diner and he, like, just whips one out from his shirt and just
Yeah,
sticks
he's
it
always
in.
ready. That's how he starts to go. He's like, hey, baby, you can drink me up all you want. Look at these big straws. And he pulled out a straw out of his
That
chest.
seems like something he'd do.
I think so too.
Sensei said that if she reported it at the child consultation center, they'd have to respond on the same day. Could they already be in the middle of responding to it now? If Satoko came to school tomorrow morning all energetic, then everything would just be a needless fear.
Of course, because that's how that'll resolve itself.
Yeah, we're like at the end of the arc, right? Everyone goes home happy at the end. No murder.
Why couldn't tomorrow come faster?
Because of the way that the Earth spins. It's like it's a static thing.
Well, if you just put a bunch of rocket boosters.
Oh, you're right. You can make it spin way faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
That night was unusually hot and humid, and I couldn't get to sleep.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Keiichi. I feel like at this point the grape hour is over, so thank
sweating
you.
in here.
Thank you. Yeah, we ran out of cold things to keep us alive.
Oh, we got the great power. We've only been, well, you know what? We gotta be close to it at least.
We gotta be getting there.
We gotta be close. If you are still in the great power, eat those grapes as fast as you can. We're running out of time. Watch out. Watch that timer. Watch out.
The night was unusually hot and humid, and I couldn't get to sleep. I said all that to Sensei. I couldn't possibly decide to wait and see again this year. Satoko, what was it like for her tonight? She tasted the end of her nightmare, enjoying a night of liberation.
Yes.
I actually put my hands together and prayed into my futon. The futon? Futon?
You're fitting.
In this
In
futon?
the blessed fitting.
In my futon?
I put my foot in. I really put my foot into it. Shout out to you who get that reference.
I don't. I'm sorry.
It's
I
from.
let you down.
I don't know what the show's called, so I'm not going to try and figure it out.
Can you substitute this with a g'day for us?
G'day, Keiichi-kun.
Thank you.
Morning.
Thank goodness. I thought you overslept today too. Your mum said you got on ahead yesterday and then you weren't at school.
Which doesn't make any sense. Did he tell his mother to lie? I don't remember that
I
happening.
don't know.
His mother doesn't seem like the kind of person that would have done that.
I don't think so either.
Did he pretend to leave early? I
don't know.
I can't believe I've already forgotten. It's like 2 videos ago.
It's been too long. It's been like 3 years.
It's literally been a week.
It's been too long. A week is too long now. I'm too busy to remember these things. It's always we should take more notes. I was worried that you had gotten heat stroke. Heat stroke. I'm playing the g'day.
This is...
Hold on, I gotta get my accent going, really.
God.
Alright, oh my lordy Lou. They got your cow tip and Keiichi-kun. There we go, my voice is back. I was worried that you were gotten heat stroke halfway there.
It's the heat getting to us. I swear to God, it is.
We're getting heat stroke.
It is so hot in here.
Let's get there. Let's get to the end of Great Power.
I'm very sorry for all the worry I caused you yesterday.
Great Power.
Hey, good morning.
Hey. Me-chan, good morning. Wow, you really stink of liquor. You'll get found out for sure.
Oh,
Right, wasn't there a big business meeting with all the people on the town council yesterday?
they only called it that. It was more like a party. We have the festival every year, right? We wouldn't have any annoying meetings at this point.
Are you going to help out with the festival this afternoon then?
Yeah, I have to do a meet and greet with all sorts of people in Grandma's place.
Oh boy,
Besides, they already started setting up for the festival.
that sounds like fun. And not hot. You got air conditioning in those rooms, right? Hopefully.
The festival's outdoors, man.
Oh yeah, you're right. Air conditioning in that festival room.
Oh,
He's hoping. I was thinking about Grandma's house. Not
Oh,
the festival,
right.
So that's why I said that. I just will clarify. That was not a bit. That was a true
I see,
statement
okay,
of my
yeah.
belief that there might be air conditioning in those old ass houses with security cameras in them.
we're
Just saying.
dreaming of air conditioning.
Oh god, it's just making it hotter.
Our morning conversation was lighthearted as usual. It looked like Mion had thankfully forgotten about how I'd barged in her house yesterday with that crazy talk. The more I think back on it, I felt like I'd really said something terrible to her. I was really thoughtless, and it wouldn't have been weird if she'd yelled at me.
Yeah.
It was highly possible Takano-san had exaggerated her story.
Yeah.
To think that our comrade and friend, Mion, the young leader of the Sonozakis, one of the three families effectively controlling Hinamizawa, was pulling the strings behind the serial death incidents. It was a little unbelievable.
Yeah.
But if there was even a 1% chance that it was true, then what I'd said yesterday to Mion might have been a success. Yes, it was no more than 1 in 100. That's... You're giving yourself real fucking good odds there, considering the size of this village. Like, I know this is a small town, but I'm fairly certain there are more than 100 people here. Unless it's 1 in 100 Sonozakis.
How many Sonozakis do you think there are?
Oh, no. Like, what if the Sonozaki is more than one, or more than 1 in 100 of the village, and then it becomes an even bigger
This is too much math.
too much
for this much heat. Too hot for math. I better slip into something more comfortable for something other than math. Reading.
But that little bit of effort might have brought the chances of saving Satoko up even a tiny bit.
Yeah.
At least I'd made that effort.
To buy an air conditioning. Where's Oishi when you need him?
Oh God,
Where's him in his car? Oishi, get over here. We need you.
He just drives around town with the windows down, air conditioning, like full blast, just cooling the whole town down.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Bless.
Angel of death, more like angel of air conditioning.
Completely would not work.
Good try.
After yesterday ended, I was sure I'd done everything I possibly could. If there was something else I could do, it was probably just to clap my hands and pray Satoko's uncle would be killed by the curse.
Sounds good.
Gotta stop myself. It's not funny. It's not.
What's
funny.
not funny?
He's like, I had to clap my hands and praise Satoko's uncle. I was just like, fucking claps with Seppe's head between his hands, and the head just explodes.
Like a red tomato, yeah. If that's how this arc ended, I wouldn't even be mad.
That'd be great.
Now I will pray in the way of the Hinamizawas.
I hope Satoko makes it today.
Me too, Keiichi.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sensei's doing things for her, right?
Oh dear.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Wait, what? Mion appeared. What? Moved. Then moved again. So that was meant to be Mion. Keiichi Mion. I'm taking 3 points, thank you.
3 points! We'll catch up to that 100-point lead eventually.
My aunt is a welfare agent in the Hinamizawa district. I gave her a call last night.
Oh, I didn't know your aunt was a welfare officer. What happened? Did you tell about Satoko-chan?
No, we just spoke about the weather.
What? How hot it is.
Yes, Chie-sensei called the child consultation center right after we talked to her. Child welfare officer apparently visited before the night was over. My aunt said they were going to pay visits at regular intervals from now on.
Oh, that's good.
Oh good, that means she's still with him and oh no. Enough with the dumb little stuff. I want to know what happened to Satoko. Did they get her safe?
My aunt wasn't that informed about it. I was supposed to keep this a secret anyway. Telling me it was a big breach of ethics in the first place.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's not like the Sonozaki family is,
particularly ethical.
yeah.
We do have a murder dungeon, like, come on. What do you expect from us?
It was this fantastic news story today. Very trash news, mind you, in Australia. Which was this guy who was basically on, like, welfare. Like, the dole.
Sure.
And he's like, he made a post that was like, does anyone know how to get more money? I'm bored and want a dirt bike. And everyone's like, get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job. And he's like, I'm on the dole, I'm above you.
Oh, no. That's awful. Poor guy. He just wants his dirt bike. Well, dude, go put your money in the pokies, you get a better chance.
It's one of the few times I've been reading, like, just trash news and being like, that's a funny one.
Oh, no.
Damn. Yeah. Damn, that makes me feel even worse.
Let's get to school.
Right. Discussing this more would just make us feel worse. It was far quicker to go to school and see if Satoko was safe or not. 3 of us nodded and ran off.
To Ishi's car.
Was Satoko safe? What measures did the Child Consultation Center take? I didn't care what, as long as we could go back to our peaceful life with Satoko today. It didn't matter to me. At the shoe racks at the entrance, Rena took a peek in Satoko's shoe cubby.
Satoko's shoes are here. They're here.
Keiichi, Satoko came, thank goodness.
Everything's back to normal.
We didn't know if anything happened just because we came to school. We can't know anything until we see her face. We trotted towards the classroom.
It's all back to normal.
Everything's fine.
It's lively. See? I was like, yay.
The classroom was lively as it usually was in the morning.
The end.
Satoko, where are you?
Meep. She's right here.
It's too early in the morning to be so loud. Would you please keep it down a bit?
Satoko-chan, are you okay?
All of our friends crowded around Satoko excitedly.
The probation officer came, right? How did it go?
Who was it that called them? I swear, it was quite a mess, you know.
It was the...
It was the teacher. You were absent for so long, of course she was worried. Satoko said, I told you I'm fine, under her breath. She was still trying to overcome all the suffering on her own.
It was a big bother to me and my uncle. A person just barged in on us suddenly, jeez.
Everyone was worried about you, Satoko. Don't say it was a bother.
Jeez, anyway, what happened?
Nothing happened. My cold got better, so he came back to school, that's all. I can't take too much time off now because then you'll all worry about me.
No shit.
What was Satoko saying?
What happened to, well, your uncle?
Oh, he admitted there was some misunderstandings and we both apologized.
Tug.
Rika-chan grabbed the back of my collar and pulled me away.
Meep.
What is it, Rika-chan? Rika silently dragged me all the way into the hallway. Rika-chan, what did that mean?
Oh, it's the sad music. Satoko said nothing was happening and chased them away.
Id?
Id!
Id?
That idiot! But why? No, somewhere in my mind I thought it might turn out like this. Satoko didn't ask for anyone's help, she didn't hide behind anyone. She was trying to ride out this pain. She wanted to show Satoshi proof that if he came back, then she wouldn't need to hide behind him anymore. But Coach said probation officers can bring her to safety in an emergency even if it's against her wishes. However much Satoko denies the abuse, it's a fact. Chie-sensei finally came. Her expression was far from cheerful.
Yes, you're right, my Baruch, and if the child welfare officer determines it's an emergency, then they have the right to immediately take them to safety, regardless of the affected party's intent.
And why? Why is Satoko's intent being respected so much? It's weird. Why didn't they put her into safety?
After the person in charge, the Child Consultation Center, looked into it from many angles, they determined.
What the hell is that? Sensei, didn't you say it was all gonna be alright, since you definitely save her? What's the meaning of this? This doesn't make any sense. Answer me, damn it.
Keiichi, this is actually the 3rd time someone has reported Satoko's child abuse. It happened twice in the past, too.
Really, son?
Sensei tried to stop her, but Rika-chan went on speaking anyway. Twice before. I heard they decided to wait and see after reporting it in the winter before last, but it happened before then, too.
Satoko's father, who died, wasn't her real father.
What?
Rika-chan, that's what? I'm stunned at the sudden revelation. I agree.
Here we go.
It's really strange. It feels unnecessary, but at the same time,
It's intriguing, isn't it?
it's one of those things that's like, well, I mean, I guess that doesn't make a difference, but I'm sure it probably does, and I'm fascinated.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I had no idea what Rika-chan wanted to tell me, but it seemed really important, so I couldn't get a word in either.
Satoko's mother remarried. She brought Satoko and Tsureshi with her, so they weren't related by blood to their father.
Satoshi was a good kid, one who listened politely to what adults told him. He immediately welcomed by their new father and was loved.
He immediately welcomed by their father.
Oh,
yeah.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
But Satoko was different. She was rebellious, she told lies, she played pranks. Her stepfather didn't like her at all. What? So, what do you mean?
Even before she was given to their uncle and his wife, Satoko didn't have a very good relationship with her family.
Oh, I just had a thought, Ben.
What's the thought?
What? It seems like I'm, like, really reaching, but it's the first thing that leapt to my mind.
Let's go.
What if Satoko killed her family?
Why would you say that?
Like...
It's pretty insane.
I know.
Okay,
but,
sure.
like... That was just the moment it was like Satoko didn't have a very good relationship with her family. I was like, like,
I don't know. What makes you say that?
I don't know. It was just, I feel like the way that this madness is manifesting itself, we're going to get into more cases of everyone else being wrapped up in it, right?
Sure.
Satoshi did, Keiichi has, Mion has, Rena has. Don't know about Rika, but if this is like the clue that this is how it afflicted Satoko. Because she was with her family when they died, supposedly, right?
Was she? I don't recall. It's been a while.
I swear that they said they, like, took a family trip away.
Maybe.
So she would have been with them.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, she was there, and they've never really covered the fact of, like, gosh, you know, that would have been awful for Satoko to be there as your parents died. And plus this...
Yeah.
Like, they've never addressed how Satoko was in that incident. And now they've thrown this up. I'm like, oh.
I don't know, dude. We'll start to find out. You can either confirm, not deny anything, of course.
Yeah, like, I'm really reaching, but that's just the first thing that came to my head.
Oh, cool. I like it.
Like,
that's a fun time.
I don't like that that's the first thing. That seems really extreme.
It would be very extreme, yeah, for sure.
But it also seems like within the scope, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can kids really do anyway?
Yeah. Of course, her stepfather didn't have any malicious intent at the start. At first, he must have worked hard to get his new daughter to accept him. But the young Satoko didn't make any effort at all towards that end. She was distant towards her stepfather and never opened her heart to him even a little. She just got on his nerves all the time with seemingly forced lies and pranks. Her father's discipline and punishment must have been loving at first, of course, but that too faded quickly. I stopped to think again.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my expectation the whole time with, like, Satoko's family, how it was like, oh yeah, they fell from a viewing platform or whatever, was gonna be something along the lines of, like, you know, the parents got into an argument, one of them was afflicted by the madness, and they broke the barricade and fell off, and, you know, whichever one was afflicted by the madness was taken away by the people, or lost to the riverbed, like, we don't know, but... I'm honestly, like, really bothered by this.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Because looking at the stepfather thing, I was like, well, this is probably going to be important in some way. So I think, like, I've immediately leapt to this is how it's going to be. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to find, like, what is the reason why this piece of information is in the novel. I think that's reasonable. What is the purpose other than that, right?
Yeah. Is this Rika, I think?
I think it might be. Give it a click. Let's just see what it says. I learned this on the phone yesterday.
I guess, just...
Could it be Chie?
Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
It's probably Chie, right? On the phone, yeah.
I don't know because I wasn't in Hinabaza at the time, but I learned this on the phone yesterday. What story did you hear, Sensei? Nailed it.
You get a point for that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Satoko-chan wanted to trick her parents, especially her stepfather, so she inflicted wounds on herself so she could make up a false story about abuse. Then she sent out an SOS herself.
She made up a story about hurting herself.
Satoko made a fake phone call to try and get rid of the father that she hated.
Child welfare officers rushed there and heard the story. Her father genuinely apologized for a few times where he had gone too far and agreed to let the child welfare center give him coaching.
Related agencies looked into it quite a bit. They determined that Satoko-chan and her stepfather's hearts not being quite matched up was the cause of the incident. But they found another problem above that with Satoko-chan.
A problem with Satoko, what was it? Dun. Satoko's mother. There were a few times where she'd lived with the de facto husbands, though those relationships didn't result in remarriage. From a young age, Satoko had been forced to call at least 2 or 3 people her father. At some point, Satoko's pranks escalated. She would spill food on purpose, turn over her plate, and even throw it. She would break windows in the neighborhood and shoplift candy. She would put thumbtacks everywhere and set other traps to seriously hurt people. Not in the way she did now, just to get laughs. She was also fond of telling lies that would be found out right away and people got mad at her every time. But she never, ever changed her behavior.
There's a very interesting recontextualization going on here.
Yes.
Because we always think of Satoko as like the hoity-toity, bratty kind of character. And in the past, this is something that we're being told she did maliciously in a sense. We also have had many tips. This is something that I wanted to talk about earlier, but I never really found a good opportunity to. But like, Satoko talks about how she uses her traps as a method of communication. The method or the message usually is "I'm okay."
Yeah.
Right. Like the club stops getting together, and Satoko stops setting her traps, and Rena stops talking about taking people home. All that stuff like stops after shit starts to go down. And seeing those behaviors, the trap setting in particular, seeing that it wasn't always used to say "I'm okay." It was originally used to say "I am not okay. I am not happy." I think that's just a very interesting kind of part of Satoko's, character that we're learning about. Assuming that all of this is accurate and correct, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring that up.
Please don't think Satoko-chan was a problem child. Satoko-chan was young. It was an act of self-defense that she had to take against the unknown men her mother had chosen.
In regards to Satoko's problematic behavior, child psychology experts from public institutions indicated her actions were to draw her mother's attention to herself. They acknowledged that she had a form of harmful emotional trauma and declared that she needed counseling and therapy from professionals. They didn't know whether that therapy had healed the wounds in her heart.
Satoko-chan purposefully hurt herself and told them that she was being abused by her stepfather in an attempt to chase him out.
But in the end, her stepfather did abuse her, right?
No. All of the abuse has been made up by Satoko-chan. Her stepfather, of course, may have scolded her in a somewhat emotional way, but it was nothing out of the ordinary.
Satoko had lied to chase away her stepfather, and then they saw through her right away and found out. And Satoko had issues. Oh, could it be that's why the winter before last they decided to wait and see?
Yes. The Child Consultation Center had all their past records, so they needed to act carefully in case Satoko was lying.
What the hell? So what? Satoko might be telling a lie, so they needed to be careful. So how does that mean they just end up waiting and seeing?
My goodness, it's just the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. It was the girl who cried wolf.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm good at this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's where this is being drawn from, right?
Yeah,
It's the inspiration for this situation. Also, Fables. Shout out to Fables.
Shout out to
Aesop.
Shout out to Aesop.
Best boy.
That's spelled A-E-S-O-P, right?
Yes, it is.
So would that not be Aesop?
No. You know what? Who knows at this point? He's dead. No one knows how to pronounce his name. Aesop. I usually just say Aesop. I don't know.
I guess it could be Aesop even.
Well, yeah, in Japan speak it'd be A, so I think I just go
I
with
see,
that.
because we're catering to the Japanime audience.
We are, yes. Well, actually, I met someone is the whole. I'll be quick. I met someone whose last name was it was Mouton, but it was spelled Mouton. So my first instinct was to go Moton, like Emoto,
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's how the Japanese would pronounce M-O-U, Mo. But she was like, no, it's moo, like a cow.
Nice.
Anyway, language is fun, guys. There's like different stuff in all languages.
Also, I do wonder if the boy who cried wolf is
the girl who cried wolf.
as common a tale in Japan as it is here.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it was a different story, for Rikishi writing this, or maybe he's like pulling from Western.
Yeah, because
influence.
Rikiki's
What the fuck did I just say?
Ryukishi is...
Ryukishi.
He's a rubby.
Anyway, that guy is very prone to pulling from Western influences.
He is.
But because we never get to, like, see what he originally wrote,
yeah.
I do wonder whether this was like a twist in the translation.
I think it probably is, just because this story is much more Japanese focused than Umineko is.
That's why I keep pointing these ones out, even though in like Umineko I would have just assumed that was what it was originally.
If anyone knows what this line was originally, if it is just the same, I'd be curious to know in the comments.
Fable about telling a lie once, making others unwilling to believe you later. That's bullshit. The past has nothing to do with this, does it? Only what's really happening right now is important. Satoko's being abused by her uncle. Why is something that happened in the past getting in the way of helping her now? If Sensei no Rika-chan had anything to say to that.
Anyway, yesterday, a probation officer visited to carefully determine what was going on.
And Satoko dealt with them, put on the best, strongest smile she could manage and denied the abuse. Of course, she was probably being threatened to keep quiet about it by her uncle. Satoko was trying to outlast everything without asking for help, and Satoko wanted to wait for Satoshi to come back home. And she outright denied the truth of the abuse. What an idiot. What? You're not really enduring it. You really think pretending like this will actually bring Satoshi back? Just stop it already. Satoshi, he abandoned you. And the fact he hasn't shown up to save you now is proof, isn't it? So just stop it. Please stop being weird and pretending to endure it.
I get everything we just said. Understand? If you tell anyone else, your teacher will be very mad with you.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll work.
Keiichi's very good at that, as we know.
He is. He's good at putting the past behind him, moving on, not worrying about things, you know?
Gee, since he gave me a warning, and then left to go back to the teacher's lounge.
Jay, please. Keiichi, please, don't think Satoko is a pathetic, pitiful girl. She's living life. She's...
I know that! She's our irreplaceable friend.
Satoko is still trying her best. Let's watch over her a little longer. The person from the consultation center said they'd visit periodically from now on. If something terrible happens, they'll help her right away.
Yeah, but only after it happens. Any more than that would have sounded like I was picking a fight, so I firmly swallowed my words and went back to the classroom.
Don't pick a fight with a 10-year-old kid. Come on, Keiichi, please.
Mion and Rena were talking to Satoko like they always did. It was a silly conversation, a humorous, even fun one, like it was any old day. If Satoko really said she could still endure it, maybe I should do as Rika-chan said and watch over her. Maybe whatever help I offer will just go on. We'll just go unwanted.
Unwanted! Just like that yawn. Unwanted.
Yes, very much so. Ugh.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't glad that this chapter would come to a close.
Thank you for joining us for the grape hour.
The end of the grape hour and the beginning of the heat exhaustion hour. Thank you.
What?
The heat exhaustion hour.
Oh.
What did you think I said?
I don't know. I kind of just tuned out because
we're gonna go get a drink and have some more grapes.
If
you guys
there are
have
no
a good
videos
one.
after this, we died of heat stroke.
Okay. Bye.